Hello. I don't expect anybody to come up here. I just didn't want to have to upload this to YouTube. I'm doing a few things here, and I'm kind of disgusted that just to let everybody know America is in dire straits and we're in big trouble. But who cares, right? Especially in America, especially with the ones who voted for our current douchebag. And I'm going to try to work this somehow where I can. Hang on one second. I got to try something here. All right. I got to see if it fluctuates. If not, I'll have to use the microphone. You guys can hear me. I'm trying to work two machines at the same time. Hang on one second. I got to be able to hear. I was trying to set all this up before I started. I think I got it now. Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to try to get at least one person up here to make sure I'm sounding good. Does that sound better? Testing. Okay. I'm going to have to do it without the headset, and you just use my phone as a camera to show you exactly what I'm talking about. America is being held hostage. It's being taken in a direction that we weren't supposed to go in. We're taken in a direction due to selfish reasons by the current leader, who thinks that whatever he feels he can do and get away with, and who's going to stand up to him. There's a bunch of cowards in DC. I don't know why they're afraid of that orange hemorrhoid. And just let you know, I may not have Donald Trump's paper or Elon Musk's paper, but I got twice the dick than both of them put together. And that's a fact. Well, I'm not here to compare dicks with a mushroom and a douchebag. So I want to show you some things. America is like being brought back to the 1950s, when asshole was a kid, growing up. That's what he wants to bring us back to. I don't want to go backward. I want to go forward. I want to reach that next step in human evolution, so everything is better for everybody and not just a tiny minority, which is the rich folks. Now, you think you could be just like him and you're just like him and everything else. I hate to break it to you, you'll never be like him. We got too many Americans that act like shamed millionaires, and they never were. Okay. I know I got 4 people in here, but a lot of the racist things that are going on, they're trying to erase and whitewash history, which is pretty popular here in the United States. Hello, Shadow Sweet. Tell me, can you hear me clearly? Anyway, I'm using my other account as a camera to show you what I'm going to show you on my screen because I don't know how to share a screen and all that other stuff. But there's some of us that are not racist and don't want to go back in that direction, so we have to relive the 1960s. Let me share you some that really inspired me. Been a baseball fan all my life, and I know a lot about its history. I don't know all of it, but I know quite a bit. And some amazing things happen on a ball diamond. And if anybody's familiar with baseball, next month we have a day called Jackie Robinson Day because back in the beginning of the baseball season in 1947, a couple years after World War II ended, about a year and a half, Ricky, the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, now known as the Los Angeles Dodgers, wanted to bring Jackie Robinson into an all-white Major League Baseball league, and he did. And he had a choice between a bunch of people, and he chose Jackie Robinson. That's why number 42 has been retired by all teams in baseball, just like in NHL, Wayne Gretzky number 99 is. I'm going to show you a scene from a movie called 42. It came out of, I think maybe 15 years ago. I can't remember. But it was really, really good. And what's interesting is the real Jackie Robinson passed away. And then shortly after he passed away, the actor that played Jackie Robinson in that movie passed away. I don't remember the actor's name, but he did a really good job. Anyway, I want to show you a scene from that movie that inspired me and should inspire a lot of other people. And I got to tell you, it makes you think. Okay, he got a lot of heat, had a lot of racist things thrown at him and said to him on the field, and amongst the players too. But one of the most inspirational things was from 42, and this actually happened. They were playing at Crosley Field in Cincinnati, where the Reds play, and the shortstop, number 1, Pee Wee Reese, was from that area. Louisville, Kentucky, which is not far from Cincinnati. It's only like maybe an hour and a half drive, not far at all. And I'm gonna show you this because it really means a lot. Okay.
They can say all they want. We're just here to play ball. It's just a bunch of crackpots still fighting the Civil War. Well, hell, we'd have won that son of a gun if the cornstalks would have held out. We just ran out of ammunition. Better luck next time, Pee Wee. Ain't gonna be it next time, Jake. All we got's right here. Thank you, Jake. What are you thanking me for? I got family up there from Louisville. I need them to know. I need them to know who I am.
Hey, number 1. You playing ball or socializing?
Playing ball, up.
Come on, don't let us get to you.
Playing ball. Maybe tomorrow we'll all wear 42. That way they won't tell us apart.
That was really good. That's a good movie, and I recommend it to everybody. But and yet, our current leader wants to drag us back to that time where, you know, the black people weren't allowed to sit on the same buses as the whites. And that's where Rosa Parks comes in. But don't mention about Cedric the Entertainer, because he made a good point. They weren't allowed to use the same drinking fountains, go to the same restaurants and everything else. And Donald Trump lifted that law where they had to stop segregation of everything. He lifted that law so people can segregate now without this discrimination. And that still violates the Constitution. Amendment 1. Amendment 1. That covers a lot. And also what was written in the Constitution. The words, all men are created equal in the eyes of God, and that's mentioned or not God, that was never mentioned, but all men are created equal. And believe it or not, who wrote that was a slave owner. That's why America is so full of shit, but we're trying our best. And America was meant to be a fruit salad. Currently today, you name it, we have them here in the United States. Every race, color, creed, religion, it's all represented here in the United States. But we're still trying to fight the racist pig that keeps rearing its ugly face. And what I mean by racist pig, I'll show you. That's what he currently looks like right now. Him and all of his friends from Douche or Doge, whatever I call it, Douche, because that's all they are, is a bunch of douchebags and a bunch of cowards. But I got one thing to say to that, and it's a rallying cry for revolution. Here you go. All pigs die. KFD, baby. And I have to mention this. I might not need my phone anymore, but I'll have to look some things up here. It was brought to my attention earlier. Yeah, thanks to a good friend in Canada, because I got friends all over the world. Shadow, you're unique. You're the only one that I know from Sweden. But I'm just about getting all of Europe represented. That have a friend in every country. Yeah, but what's going on is this woman, she doesn't look like a criminal at all. I have to reverse this so you guys can see it. I really don't want to turn my camera on. Might not have any drawers on. That was a joke, by the way. All right. This woman here does not look like a freaking criminal to you, does she? This woman here, she looks sad because she finally got out of there. She was there for a long time. She goes, I'm a Canadian who was detained by ICE for 2 weeks. It felt like I've been kidnapped. That's despicable. And why? Why was she detained? That's the good question. I would like to hear the whole story. I highly doubt this woman did anything illegal or should have been detained. But I know how the Border Patrol has been. Going down to get into Mexico and come back, no problem. You don't get a hard time. They don't strip search you and all kinds of crap. But along the Canadian border, it's awful. Every time I come, they act like, why do you come back to your own country? I hate those people. I really do. Especially the last time I came back from Canada into, that wasn't the last time. But one of the times that I did, it came through Vermont. And that was ridiculous. She goes, I was stuck in a freezing cell without explanation. despite eventually having lawyers and media attention. Yet, compared with others, I was lucky. Pee in a cup. Jasmine Mooney is her name. Says she was forced into pregnancy test in ICE custody. Now banned from U.S. after a 12-day detention. And it says Canadian woman speaks out about her treatment in the U.S. detention. We were bound in chains and wrapped tightly around our waist, with our handcuffed hands secured to our bodies and shackles restraining our feet. Yeah, that's how they transport people that are in prison. You know, they'll do that when they got to move them somewhere. That was totally unnecessary. See, I love going to Canada. Every time I go to Canada, their border patrol people are lovely. They're nice. They're not nasty. The first thing you're going to hear, first time Canada, and usually I say no. I've been here a few times. It's a lovely place. One time, I was on vacation. He said, at that time I was, with the wife, and I said we're going to go to Niagara Falls, and then we're going to go to a Sox game, and then Saturday we're going to go to Canada's Wonderland because we have a season pass to Kings Island. It was owned by the same park. It still does, just not Paramount. It's owned by Cedar Fair now. I like that. We're going to Canada's Wonderland. He turned and looked at me and leaned in. He goes, "They're open?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're open on the weekends. They're going to be open on the weekends now." And he said, "I'm glad you told me that. I'm going to take my kids there." And I just lost myself. I don't know how that happened. Well, I lost I was only using it as a camera to show you some guys some things, but this is just downright, despicable. And believe me, the majority of Americans did not vote for douchebag. Okay, did not vote for our current president. You'll hear the media and a lot of the MAGA supporters that still support him say that, and that's not true because they're stupid. If they were to do any research at all, they would have known less than 1/3 of the registered voters in this country voted. The silent majority did not vote because this ugly old fat lady wearing red, white, and blue and Trump this bullshit saying the silent majority has spoken. She's too stupid too. I said, no, you're not the silent majority. The silent majority was over 2/3 of the vote that didn't vote because they weren't going to vote for either one of them. And I know why. It's because what's going over in Israel and Palestine. Not one president for going up for election was going to put a stop to it. Me, I tried to vote for Jill Stein, but she wasn't on the ballot. I believe if Jill Stein was on the ballot in all 50 states, we would have saw a third party for the first time because everybody would have went for the third party. The silent majority would have, because we're sick of the left and the right. They don't care. It's what I call the Texas two-step. Every 4 to 8 years, we go to the right and we go to the left. And believe it or not, you can call it the left, but we don't have a left in this country. Because if we did, the working class would be in a lot better shape right now. But this racism and crap and everything, it's just dividing us. And I wouldn't let it. And I'm not going to. I'm not afraid of them. What are they going to do? All they can do is illegally have me killed. But they won't take my dignity. And they won't take my pride. I'll spit in their face, and I'll try to take one of them with me as I'm going. I mean, even Britain gave updates to travel advice for U.S. amid Trump's immigration crackdown. European countries warn against U.S. travel amid immigration crackdown. Yeah. Doesn't matter what country now. I mean, it's shameful what we've been doing to Asian people. But believe it or not, this is nothing new. This was going on during World War II when we gathered up, some of the Asians weren't Japanese, but they rounded them all up and put them in internment camps. Some of them that were born here, they threw them in internment camps. And the Germans, they were kind of in internment camps, but they were treated a lot better than the minorities here. The Germans that were captured, they were brought here, and some of them were imprisoned, yes, but they were treated. They were allowed to go into restaurants. They were allowed to use that drink if I want to go to that restroom, where black people were not, and black people still had to sit in the back of the bus. I just cannot believe that we're going to have to fight with Jim Crow again. I mean, and abortion laws. I can care less. Okay, I don't personally believe in it, but I'm not going to trample on somebody else's rights to make that decision on their own. If they want to kill their unborn, go ahead. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. It's not going to affect me. I don't have to answer for it. I got my own shit to answer for when I die. Why should I worry about what somebody else is doing? And by saying that, you usually, if you support about, oh, you love murdering children. No, not at all. I ain't murdered no children. It's just I don't interfere in other people's lives, let alone gay people and what they do in their bedroom. I can care less what those people do in their bedroom, but they make sure it's in our face all the time. Not the trans or gay community. These people that they ended DEI and all kinds of crap. All this other stuff they ended. It's like, I mean, there's been gay people since humanity took its first breath. I mean, before the Bible was even wrote, there were gay people. And we never had a problem with who's using what public restroom until like maybe 4 or 5 years ago when it was first mentioned in the media. Then everybody's in a freaking uproar. And I tell everybody, I can care less. I've never seen anybody. I accidentally walked into the ladies' room once because I had to go. I don't go into a restroom for conversation. I go in there to take care of my business, wash my hands, and get out of there. I don't go in there for conversation. When I take a leak in the urinal, I don't want to hold hands with the guy beside me. I can care less. Just don't piss on my shoe. This is ridiculous. And yeah, my country's going to suffer and pay for this. Hey, how you doing, Buddha? Yeah, just like we send all the let's look at this. And this is a good example. You got Palestine and Israel. What's going on over there? They usually identify them as, okay, those are countries, Israel and Palestine. Those are the countries. Now, religion. One's Jewish. The other one's Muslim and Christian. Yes, there are Christian Palestinians. If you didn't know that, then you really didn't know Murad. Because Murad was not a Muslim, he was a Christian. Those are religions. And then when you hear about this anti-Semite, anti-Semitism shit, it's like, I support Palestine because both parties are Semitic. Everybody in the Middle East is Semitic. Look it up. How could I be anti-Semitic if I support Palestine? But it's not the Jews or Jewish people in Israel doing that. It's Zionist pigs doing it. Yeah, Murad was a Christian, but he was a Palestinian, and he had family over there, I'm sure. But you see, the Muslims are terrorists, and then we got the Jewish people. But when it comes to the people that we want to deport out west, the brown people, the Mexicans, or the people of Spanish descent, that's how we identify them. Because if we identified them as Catholic, then people would be like, wait a minute, what are you throwing them over the border for? Exactly. A lot of those people are more Christian-like than a lot of Americans I know back east here. I'm glad Buddha's here because she knows what Narasa means. And a lot of them will say, Yo la unda is not my unda. And believe me, you'll see it there. Those people know how to live right. Sure, there's bad people, but I can show you a lot of white people that are bad too. of all races. All villages have their idiots, but you can't lump them all together as one. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, that's why I haven't been going out west as of late, because there's nobody out there to pick the goddamn fruit and vegetables. And I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? So if you're living the eastern part of the United States and we're running out of fruits and vegetables in the grocery store, that's why. Because the farmers cannot hire anybody that's willing to pick in the fields for what the price they were paying. And these people busted their ass in those fields, because I know it, because I pick up the load right next to the farm where they're picking the shit. There's the field where everything grows and they're picking it, and there's a big warehouse. I just back my truck and I can sit there watching picking the fields while they boxed it in the warehouse, put it on pallets, and put it on my truck to come back east here. But since ICE and asshole wanted to throw them back over the border, oh yeah, good luck. Unless you can find some self-picking fruit, we're going to be hurting. And they miraculously hire Americans to do that job. They have to pay them minimum wage or more. We're going to spend $20-$30 for a sack of oranges or apples. Well, I'm glad you people will join me. And I'm really upset and I'm really mad. And hey, don't start the revolution without me. I mean, hey, I'm all for revolution because now's the time. You oath keepers, yeah, stop being a bunch of pussies and stop, talking a lot of shit and doing the prick wavering. When it comes to paying the check, you took the oath. Are you going to abide by your oath, or are you going to cower in a corner? Because me, I'm willing to go, but I don't want to be stuck out there with my ass hanging in the breeze. Because a lot of Americans are lazy. They're like, okay, well, I'll let them do it. Let them get in trouble. We'll just watch it on TV. No. Sometimes you got to do more than that. Let me see if I can get back in here. Because since I got that people, I want to show that again for the few people that came in the room. Okay. I'm using my camera from my phone.
Oh, good.
Whoops. There we go. I'm going to show you that again for the ones that weren't here. And this made, in the end, about this made me love the game again.
They can say all they want. We're just here to play ball.
It's just a bunch of crackpots still fighting the Civil War.
Well, hell, we'd have won that son of a gun if the corn stalks would have held out. We just ran out of ammunition.
Better luck next time, Pee Wee.
Ain't gonna be it next time, Jax. All we got's right here. Thank you, Jax.
What are you thanking me for?
I got family up there from Louisville. I need them to know. I need them to know who I am.
Hey, number one! You playing ball or socializing?
Playing ball, up.
Come on! Don't let us get to you!
Playing ball. Maybe tomorrow we'll all wear 42. That way they won't tell us apart.
Excellent movie. Well, a lot of people left. Here, I can show you this too. It's coming up next month in the MLB, and every hat they make it every year. They do this, and I have one from the first year they did it. And here's the Chicago Cubs, my team, and on the side of the hat they put that. There we go. Now we won't hear that damn echo anymore. But that's why, if Booty, if you're still here, that's why when during the pandemic, I didn't have a mask and I was trying to shop for one. It was all by itself. And I saw it on a rack in a truck stop and it was all by itself. Something told me, buy me. And I did. It was one of a kind. There was only one there. And it had the Mexican flag on it. I still have that. And I bought it, and it goes along just with that, what I just showed you from that movie. I wanted people to see who I am. So here I am. Everybody sees me as a gringo, a white guy, but I'm half native, but you can barely tell that. But I'm wearing a Mexican mask on my face during the pandemic, going out there, and I know some of those assholes that were dumb enough to wear their MAGA hat, I'm going to make them wait. But they looked at me like really strange. I had one come up to me and say, "You're not Chicano." And I pulled my mask down. I said, "No." They were just amazed. Some people respected that and they appreciated it. I said, "I'm wearing it because I'm showing people who I am." Because, yeah, I have a lot of friends that are of different races. I grew up in Chicago, and it was like the kids. We were all like, it was part of the UN. Everybody was totally different than everybody else, whether it be religion, race, or whatever. You know, this racist shit is bullshit, is all it is. Oh, Buddha, I'm glad you were here for that. Oh, you were in the background? I don't see you. Anyway, I just had to make this because it's really making me angry. And you got all these guys that got guns and everything, and act like that makes their dick any bigger, and it doesn't. And they try to compensate for it. And I'm like, look, hey, I'm all for revolution, and this is for the working class. You know, the 99% against the 1%, which that was what disappointed me about former President Obama. He needed a movement from below to do what FDR did. He got it, and he turned his back on it and bulldozed. About like 350 cities were witnessing those same camps in the city, in the parks. It was called Occupy Wall Street. But anyway, now that Darren helped me, shared that with me with the Canada thing, and it's ridiculous. But if you want something on the lighter side, like I told Gordon there, watch the movie Canadian Bacon with John Candy. That came out in 1995. But you look at it and watch it and you laugh and you're like, that's just like today. And it is. I've watched that movie at least, once. Well, I'd say about maybe 2 or 3 times a week now. I was watching it almost every night. I have it on my external hard drive, and I was watching it on a loop because it's hilarious. No matter how many times I watch it, I'm going to laugh. But, the ridiculousness of it. And like I tell everybody, that asshole's not speaking for me and many other Americans. And when a man is acting dishonorably and shouldn't be in the position that they're in right now because Amendment 14, Title 3, just because it's not being enforced doesn't still make it right, make it okay that he's where he's at. Anyway, Buddha, if you missed what I showed everybody, just go back I've only been going 35 minutes in the live stream. I'm going to be ending real soon anyway. But go back and watch it. I hope y'all were able to hear it. And I was wanting you to see it too, because that really happened. It was May 17th of 1947 in Cincinnati. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a statue in Cincinnati of those two together like that with Pee Wee Reese's arm around Jackie Robinson. Yeah, watch the movie 42. Very inspirational. That's what I'm asking, Gordon. Just because they allowed it and didn't do shit about it doesn't make it right. But I'm just keep asking the question, how long are we going to tolerate this shit? Yeah, and they want to. Today was the anniversary of the term "give me liberty or give me death," and you get shamed for that. But I do want. France had already asked. We do need to give the Statue of Liberty back because they're not going by what's on it. Yeah, we're not doing what is written on it. Give us, you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor. Yeah. Back in the day, you came through Ellis Island. They just ran medical tests on you, and then you went through and you became a citizen. No big deal. Now it's made it such a damn big deal. I'm going to leave the live stream, but there's one more thing I want to say. My dad was in the Marine Corps, and he was a drill sergeant until he got promoted to sergeant major. One of the most famous things he told me, and that I hold to this day, and it's probably why the way I am. He said, if you can't eat it, wear it, or live under it, it's useless. And one thing my dad wasn't racist, even though sometimes when you hear him out there talking to the soldiers during basic training, you'd think he's a racist. No, there's a reason for that. He told them all. He goes, I don't care if he's a nigger. I don't care if he's a spick, he's a cracker, or he's a Jew, or he's a Muslim, or this or that. He said, that motherfucker's going to save your life one day. And it's true. You don't know who, you go into combat and you're with a bunch of people of different races, colors, or creeds. That person may save your life one day. It gives you something to think about. That's why you'd be hard pressed to find a Marine that's racist. In the Army, that's easy. But in the Marine Corps, totally different. Because they know that dude that is totally different from you may end up saving your life one day. And it doesn't have to get to that point for you to change. But our president's too far gone. He's almost 80 years old. He ain't never going to change. Well, let that orange fat fuck come after me. I'm like, okay, douchebag. I'm 54 years old. You're 80. I'll even give you the first fucking hit. Let's go. And I'll clean his clock. I'm not afraid of him. I mean, I can care less if it's monetized because, yeah, I probably blew it when I showed that scene from 42. Oh, I've been all right. How you been doing, Buddha? It's good to see you coming around again. Darren is going to be starting to do live streams on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, I believe, or Thursday nights. I can't remember. He's got Boot Bonita as his co-host again now. And you should join us. I think everybody misses you. And I mean, a lot of people have left and they'll come back. Like Shadow Swede, he was gone for a while. He finally came back. Because I remember usually when you get Shadow Swede, you'll end up getting Fanatic. It's like those two were together all the time. But I wanted to tell you guys, thanks for coming, and hopefully you learned something here. And like I told everybody in all countries, what's been going on, I do not support, and I'm not a person in power to change that. The only thing I got is my voice, and I'm speaking out. I think he's gonna start at 9. I think it's either Tuesday and Wednesdays or Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock. Oh, he's still going to be doing the weekends though, Friday and Saturdays. He's going to do that still, but he's going to start doing them during the week now too. And what is today? Today Monday or Tuesday? Today's Monday. Okay, so tomorrow night, and hopefully y'all have fun. I know Shadow will probably be there. I'm surprised he's still. Well, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I thought it was early in the morning where Shadow Swede was. Yeah, it's Monday. But thanks for coming, guys. Y'all have a good day. Hopefully, you can have people watch the replay. I'm not doing this to get monetized. I can care less. I do this to educate. And always remember, Trump, all pigs die. You guys have a good day. Bye bye.